And our top story this evening, Parliament passing the contentious Protection of State Information Bill. Makhudu Sefara, SANEF's Media Freedom Committee Chair, joins us now for some reaction on this. Good evening and thanks for coming in. I don't need to ask whether you're disappointed. Naturally you are. Overwhelmingly adopted in Parliament. The Information Minister Siyabonga Cwele in Parliament saying there is no one who can hide from corruption with this act. Explain how he's wrong.
No, the bill still allows what we call a vague authority to classify, and that is a problem because it means that the legislation as it stands can be used as a tool to enhance secrecy, and that of course runs counter to the democratic society that seeks to encourage accountability and transparency, and so on and so on. But there's also the issue of what we call public domain defense. By that we mean that if information is already available in the public, you can still be punished if you're found to have something that whether or not you use it, does not change its availability and the cost of anything in the country.
Do you really believe that we could see a day in South Africa where journalists actually go to jail for stories they publish? I know we had a hint of that in the past with Mzilikazi wa Africa. There was kind of a hint as to what could happen if we fall foul of the law in some ways, as some people interpret it. Do you think that we would really get to that? Do you think that this bill in its state kind of is a precursor, is a foreshadowing of that possibility?
Yeah, there's a real risk of that sort of thing happening. There's also something called requests for declassification that are handled in a very controversial way. That means that if there's a document that deals with a matter that is of public interest, that say you as a channel want to use to publicize because there's an issue that affects people out there, if you make an application for that document to be declassified, they might just turn you down. Now, what that does is that people out there who are concerned about what's happening in the country, whether with public institutions or whether there's corruption in some, as we had at the crime intelligence, the police crime intelligence unit, where there was clear corruption which was being covered by people who are there. That if you apply for information like that, and you can demonstrate that there's public interest defense, they just need one line in the document to just disqualify your application. And if you are found to have that sort of documentation, I beg your pardon,
you can go to jail.
Yeah, they'll send you away.
Well, let's talk about what is left. If a bid to stop this fails in the Constitutional Court, which is exactly what Right to Know is planning on doing, it's supported by yourselves and other agencies. If that fails, what else do you have in your arsenal? What next?
We believe, SANEF believes that the right way of handling this bill would have been that Parliament, before passing it today, should have just said the Constitutional Court must look at the bill, do a review, and send it back to Parliament. But they've chosen not to do so, and
exactly.
It's a pity. Now, the ball is in the hands of President Jacob Zuma. President Jacob Zuma has a responsibility, and in the statement that we issued as SANEF, we have encouraged him to...
Well, are you optimistic he might do that?
Well, we don't know. We are hopeful that he'll do the right thing, but if he does not, as SANEF, we have taken a decision that we will make an application to the Constitutional Court and make an application ourselves to say that this bill does not just affect people who are in the media, it affects everybody.
All South Africans.
And that it is important that it is seen to be complying with all the constitutional...
But if it fails, Makhudu, what is the plan B? Are journalists, are you investigating the possibility of using agencies like the Public Protector's Office, which does have some leeway at its disposal? What is another plan?
We are convinced that if we take this matter to the Constitutional Court, we will win. Earlier in the week, as SANEF, we consulted with not just our lawyers, but with senior counsel to say we are very concerned about this legislation. So what do we do? And then we looked at quite a number of clauses, put them there. Obviously, I mean, I can't go into detail.
Yeah.
But we are convinced that if this matter is taken to the Constitutional Court, the right decision will be taken there.
Well, we're in the end zone, but it's not game over as far as SANEF
No,
is
it is
concerned
not.
by a long shot. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Makhudu Sefara, SANEF's Media Freedom Committee chairperson.
News that moves. eNCA.com.